Joining me now on this episode of Locally Sourced CP is the boss lady, shall we say to call her, of Rocket Buster Boots in El Paso, Texas, Miss Navina Christi. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
No,
Always
ple
good to what we do.
no, pleasure's all mine. I appreciate you all coming on. You guys are probably one of the most legendary establishments in El Paso. I'm super excited to have you on. First off, Miss Christie, tell me, for those who don't know, what is Rocket Buster Boots?
Well, we've been here 33 years in downtown El Paso in a building that was built in 1900, which was an old trapper's warehouse. And we make crazy custom boots by hand 5 days a week. And people from all over the world are challenging us with the most bizarre projects you could imagine. We do a blog as we build them on our Instagram so people can feel our pain. No, we're struggling with certain situations, but it's really fun for me. We never get bored. Every day is different.
That's so awesome. I mean, I have been there a few times when I worked at one of my previous jobs with the media there. I've gotten to shoot some video of you guys hand making the boots, hand cutting the leather, and just like your shop is so iconic inside with all the boots you guys, especially the ones behind you. You guys, it's just a great place to even visit if you're not even gonna buy some boots. But I mean, it's amazing what you guys do there. Talk a little bit about how did it come about? How did Rocket Buster Boots come about?
Well, El Paso has a rich history in boot making. It is the boot capital of America. At one point in time, there were more boot shops here than anywhere else in America. And cowboys would go, they would be doing a cattle drive, they would stop, they would get measured, then they would get paid. Paso del Norte, they would come back and they would pick up their boots with the money they just earned, and they would wear those boots for a very long time. Not like today when we have a closet full of tennis shoes and miscellaneous. They had one pair of boots. So we have boots, historic boots on the shelf here that are over 100 years old. I am a fan of all things vintage, vintage cars, vintage boots, vintage clothes, furniture, you name it. My husband, when I met him, same thing. As a matter of fact, when I moved here, our bookshelf looked like Noah's Ark. We had two of everything.
Oh
It
wow.
was, you have that book? I have that book, and reference books on vintage stuff. And it was, I hired him to make boots. I was working in New York and I hired him to make boots for a fashion show. And he was the only one that picked up the phone and was willing to make something as crazy as we wanted it for the runway. And we started dating cross country for 2.5 years. And he said, honey, will you move to Texas? He was trying to run a marathon in every state. And I would meet him. I had tons of mileage, and I was in New York. He was here, and he'd say, I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to Tupelo, Mississippi. We could go to Graceland. We can do this. And so for 2.5 years, we flew back and forth. And in 1997, I moved here. And the boot company downtown was not as pretty as it is now. Our street was not as pretty as it is now. There was no park. It was pretty scary. We didn't even have the name out front because I didn't want people to know I was in here working late and there was expensive stuff in the building. And so, flash forward now 27 years I've been here, and it's so amazing. We give 3 tours a day to people from other towns and visitors. The hotels send people, the city sends people. The neighborhood is beautiful. While the news loves saying other things about El Paso, I swear they take the ugliest picture they can find, but we make sure that everyone takes really great pictures here and spreads it. We just had some people that just left from North Carolina, and once again, God, El Paso is beautiful. So it's great to see the change now.
Yeah, we're one of those. I agree with you. We're one of those like hidden gems here in Texas. I know for a while, one of the previous governors when I was working in media, he had thought that El Paso was in Mexico. He referenced that, oh, in El Paso, Mexico, and I was like, wait a second, we're last time I checked, we're in Texas. But yeah, I think we're one of those hidden gems that especially with great establishments like you all, people don't know about unless they hear about it from somewhere else or actually accidentally visit here. but once they do, they love the place.
Yeah, and they come back. I mean, I did Ethan Hawke. I did a pair of boots for him when his kids were first born, and now his daughter's, you know, on all these different things. And he came back with the star of a movie he did on Blaze Foley, Ben Dickey, and they did a whole photo shoot every time. Like, and he was just a typical guy going through his phone, like all of my guy friends that don't have their pictures in albums, going, "You got to see what my boots look like now," and can't find the photo. But it's just so nice when people, they come and they're pleasantly surprised. And I think that the news, our El Paso news, has to stop being about immigration and about the fact that we have beautiful weather, and maybe not today, it's a little warm, but you know, and no traffic to speak of. I laugh when El Pasoans complain about traffic, because I just got back from New York and traffic, nothing.
But I agree. I mean, I don't see myself moving away anytime soon. I was born and raised here, and I love it. And just like being able to have established my careers here, and just, you know, be able to support any way I can is awesome. And you, like I said, for you agreeing to come on and tell your guys' story is just so amazing. I know you mentioned Ethan Hawke, about he had gotten some boots from you guys. Are there any other like other stars that you would like to, that you can discuss, that maybe are some of the favorite boots that you done?
Well, my new favorite, well, I have all sorts of favorite customers, but I don't know. Sylvester Stallone, lately we've been doing a lot of boots for him, and he called, and I swear I thought somebody was punking me because the voice was so him. And then when he gave me his email and it was like his name, I was like, at AOL, and I'm like, well, dude, really? I'm like, that is you. And he's like, who'd you think it was? I'm like, well, you know, people punk other people. And a lot of my customers will do that too, just for fun, and punk me. But so he's been great. He wants to wear them on his new show, and he loves Eagles because of Rocky and all his charitable organizations. And so it was really fun because he was very involved in the design of the boot and each detail. So that's always fun. And we just did boots for Kelly Wurstler, who is an amazing interior designer, and I really admire her. And so even somebody who's like, she has wild taste, but it's usually very simple and clean. And she picked out a pair of boots that was very textural and colors for her, and that was great. We did Jane Fonda, who many of my younger people were like, who's that? And made me feel but she got boots for 80 for Brady with the Patriots logo, so that was really fun. And we got to work with Allison Fanger, who is a costume designer that did Grace and Frankie, and is now doing, what's the new show with Harrison Ford where they're like psychiatrists?
I like Shrinking or something like that. Or,
yeah, exactly.
Right?
And she's doing that show too, so that was kind of cool. And
that's neat.
Also been doing a lot of stuff for Leon Bridges. We did a special pair of boots for the Grammys for him last year, and this year he fell in love with my patchwork denim boots I made myself, which of course I make things for me, and I never think anybody else is going to want them, but Bridges liked them. He wanted a pair.
That should be your first clue that they liked your if you made it for you, they liked it. That means other people are going to want them too.
Exactly. I like to take people out of their element, especially when we go to Vegas. Our big show is in Vegas in December. We set up a store for 10 days, a pop-up, and it's just nonstop. I'll measure people from 9 in the morning until 6 at night, and for 10 days. And then we come home and we have like a year and a half's worth of work. So that's great. But I don't like to dress cowboy because it's rodeo time. Everyone's dressed cowboy. So I'm always trying to think of like, how am I going to wow them? What boots am I going to wear? What outfit am I going to wear to sort of take people's mind? Oh, she made that for her. Well, what can I think of for me? So
bring the creativity out of someone else, huh?
Exactly.
That's perfect. It leads up to my next question. If someone was going to order a pair of boots from you all, what's like I guess what are the steps, and like how long does it take usually?
Well, a lot of people just wander in and they want a fitting, and sometimes I can do that. But usually we like you to call, make an appointment for a fitting so we can give you the VIP treatment. We measure their feet. Then sometimes they go home and they think about it for a long time, what style they want. Other times they'll see something on the shelf and they'll say, oh, I want this, but in red. And that would be a lot faster to make for that person. A lot of what we do though, I opened a can of worms. People just these crazy ideas, and we're working on a pair of boots for a lady from England who wanted her favorite flowers blowing in the wind from one boot to the other.
Whoa.
And it was really hard to draw, and I had to luckily the AI came out, so I used the AI to show me each individual flower, what it would look like blowing in the wind. So every, it's always different. It's never boring.
Never boring. I like it. And then so after if you guys get things cut and arranged and the design approved, how long does it take to put a pair together, like actually sew them, put them all together and get them out the door?
It depends. If it's hand carved, it could take 2 weeks just to carve the leather.
Oh,
and
wow.
then another 2 weeks to a month just to stain the leather. If it's a cut boot and a stitched boot, after I draw the pattern, which sometimes takes a long time, it's really unpredictable. Once they start lasting, and we do 100 lemonwood pegs in each boot, and it's hand stacked leather heel, it's hand welted, everything's by hand. With proper dry times, I would say a legitimate amount of time to carve the toe box and everything would be 2 to 3 weeks. And that's just for once it's all assembled.
Right.
But get the assembly point. And nowadays, since COVID, when a lot of our supplies, like you call up and they're like, we don't have it. Like, what? I gotta go find it. And it's like the Italian importers, are the American importers that buy from the Italian tanneries, are they buying enough to where we don't run out? And then we're like, what do we do now? And we get stuff from America, from France, from Italy. It's the same problem I think everyone in every business is having, the logistics of how do I get my supplies. So I'm a hoarder now.
And in your business, that's not a bad thing.
I want all of it. You have it, I'll take all of it. And then I'll just have it because I don't want to run out of Christmas.
Yeah, you're not hoarding, you're just being smart business.
Yeah, but it's really, I don't know, my husband, he does our bookkeeping and all that. Like when you call up and you're like, I need to spend the entire bank account on brown leather, it gets a little scary.
Right.
He knows the look on my face. He says, what aren't you telling me? I'm like, oh yeah.
I still think it's smart business, especially with the way some of the materials are going.
Yeah, and you have to invent stuff. So I've been dyeing a lot of stuff lately myself, just because we can't find that shade. So
oh wow, oh that's cool. I'd be cool to see. And I'll be honest. I want to ask an honest question. Can any regular person come in and have a set of boots made from you guys?
Yeah, we're not like exclusive. I mean, our customers are everywhere and everybody. It's yeah, and the funny thing is they always say, oh, this is like the last big thing, I retired, this is my big present to myself. And then next year they're back and you're like, but it was like the end all last thing. Well, I feel like a rock star now because every time I wear them, people chase me down and they're like, wow, you look great. And so then they want another pair. And it's just so, I don't know, that's what gets me through the hard days, like knowing that people are that excited. It's like a giant piece of jewelry. So like sometimes jewelry, you spend a lot of money on it and people might not see it or comment on it, but your boots are like giant jewelry. They're like wearing a painting around. I mean, they're big and they show.
Yeah, and I know I've seen some of your boots there at the shop. I've seen your boots. A lot of the celebrities wear them. They look amazing. I mean, you guys do amazing work, and the quality, especially since you guys still make them by hand. Everything's done by hand. I mean, the quality is amazing and looks even more amazing.
Thank you.
And if anyone wanted to get a hold of you guys to maybe get in the process, getting some info about, maybe either go and check you guys out, maybe get a pair, where can they start? How can they contact you guys?
Okay, Instagram, you're talking to me because we are not that big that we have a social media department. That would be me. And then you can call the shop to set up an appointment or check our website at rocketbuster.com. And Rocketbuster Boots is the Instagram handle. Instagram runs Facebook. I don't deal with that anymore, Facebook, because Instagram will do it for me. So, but it's just those easy ways. We're here Monday through Friday, and we say 4 o'clock on our Google because if someone shows up at 4, we still have time to show them around. Mm-hmm. So if we said, it's kind of like restaurants, we want everyone seated by.
Yeah, right.
We're usually here till around 5, but we don't want people showing up at 5.
No, I hear you. And Miss Christi, I appreciate you coming on the show. I'll make sure I include all of your contact, social media information in the description below. And is there anything else you'd like to say, Rad, before we end today?
Well, we love El Paso and we love our people here. And yeah, I think it's great when you have visitors and we, call us, we'll give you a tour. We will show off El Paso for you.
That sounds good. And any way I can help, you just let me know.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.